You may have noticed this training has a table of contents. There's an easy way to develop materials and assignments that follow the standard we see here. The main area we see here is called our learning module. We're going to create a learning module, and then in the next video you will learn to create a lesson plan. A lesson plan are the folders that we see here. The great thing about a learning module is whenever you put your content in, the student never leaves that particular area of your lesson. They can click on the link on the table of contents, or they can use the arrows to go to the next page. You could embed PDF documents, that way a student doesn't have to download a file, and they would have the option to print or download. You can also set the order here. You can choose the option for sequential order, and if you do that, the student has to review your materials in that order. You could add assignments and have them locked until all your materials are reviewed if you like. To do this, we're going to go back into our example file, and to do that I'm just going to turn my edit mode back on and return to the file I was working in. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my main layer here. We could put it inside our folder that we had made if we like. I'm going to go ahead and click on Learning Module. Maybe I'm going to call this Week 3. And down here I can put Chapter 2 of our book. The student will see this display along with the weekly folder name. Here, we can choose if we want to set sequential order. Since your training was set without it, let's set one with. We can choose the dates and set our standard options as usual. We have some information if we want to show the table of contents or not. We've seen it with the table of contents, so we're going to click No for our practice. At this point, we see our folder would appear, and we see that there's a description underneath. If we edit our folder and we hit submit, if we click on our folder, we can see where we can build our table of content. We have all the options that we've been working with while building our other materials. I'm going to go ahead and create an item to show you an example. Actually, let's call this the introduction. And down here, maybe we just could attach files, and we can set our options again and click on submit. Now we will see that there's an introduction file to our lesson. So we could go back and we could preview it with the edit off. And if we click back on our lessons, we see that it says intro to our lesson, and that's the file. If we would have more files, we would have arrows to push through since we don't have a table of contents. So let's add one more file for we see how that looks. I'm going to go ahead and just add a web link. Just going to use the CNN again. Let's submit it. And maybe we want to add one more file type. Let's go ahead here and add one more item. And this one, I'm just going to bring in a picture. So now if I go back and I test my view, I can turn my edit off. You can see we now have the arrow that will take us farther in on the lesson. So that's how it's going to look if you choose not to use the table of contents. Again, if you use the table of contents, it'll look just like how our training is set up here.